All right, amazing. Hello, Kasha. We are live and we have a lot of folks joining in from our Nextwork community. Okasha, it's so good to have you here. I know you're very excited to present this awesome enterprise grade 3-tier production system. I'd love to start by first getting to know a little bit about you.
Hi everybody, my name is Okasha Rehman, currently pursuing diploma in artificial intelligence operations. Almost done. Now final presentation is remaining. I will be a graduate very soon, and I am also a freelancer, and I do all kinds of projects mostly related to cybersecurity and DevOps. My core expertise is cybersecurity, DevOps, networking, and understanding the systems how they work. And I also work as a project based in artificial intelligence backend engineer at Intelsys. At
Wow.
there we build uh, AI startups solutions such as a lot of ideas like blog generator in which you have to give input an idea and it will generate a blog using multiple LLMs and translate into multiple languages, and there's a lot of automation, so that's a really complex, and we have multiple projects going on. And in freelancing, I'm also doing lots of projects right now. A client of me wants he has built an app and he wants to upload it on up it on AWS so that he can ask his QA team to check it and make sure everything is all right. So I'm working on that as well.
Awesome. Good to know that a little bit about your background, your experience, the projects you're working on. Is there a reason why you've chosen this particular project? Tell us a little bit about this project and why you've chosen to give us a demo on this project.
So this project is basically about making the whole production system very uh, most of the time when we think about production system, it's like everything should be perfect and this and that, and we will use this tool. So in this project I have like used all of them but with very thoughtfulness so that there is no extra charges and things like that. It is basically about an app that is three-tier app. It has front end, it has back end. Front end is written in React, and it is served via Nginx in a container. And back end is also Python fast API, and it is also served via. It is also containerized because Docker is the most is like the essence of everything. You have to make it portable so it can run on anywhere. It can run anywhere.
Cool. I think that's a good overview. Maybe we can start with the project demo. You can share your screen. And for everyone who is listening and joining and watching, if you have any questions, keep, putting it in the chat and we can get to it towards the end. We'll just do a quick 15-20 minute demo. And maybe Okasha can walk us through if somebody wanted to do this project and build this, what are the tools and technologies they need to learn to build it on their own. I think Okasha has also been talking about creating a project guide that would be useful for learners to follow and recreate this project, right?
Yes, exactly.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing this with us. Over to you, Okasha. Let's see it. And walk us
So I'm sharing
through,
my screen.
give us a overview and then tell us the details. So start with the overview and then break it down.
Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
So this is my app. It has a front end that is served via React, So I'm going to log in here. You can see it is basically a tracker that you can it tracks your streaks every day. You log in, you write how many videos you watched, and how many pages you read, and anything. Uh, and it says login completed, so it this counts as one streak. So now my day streak are two. You can also see analytics here that how many pages I have read over the time, and all the check-ins. So it's basically an example app. It is not a serious app. We can
Mm.
you it is like saying that if we can deploy this and apply all the technologies, so we can apply it anywhere. We just have
Mhm.
to understand the scope and the basics how things work, right?
Mhm.
So now I'm going to towards my uh, this is hosted on EKS. So let me show you here. So this is the WSL2 I'm using, and I have set up AWS CLI. So there's a lot of tools going on. AWS CLI I am using to access my whole EKS cluster from here. So this is the monitoring setup. You can see that from here I have an Grafana dashboard. I have also made custom dashboard, but it somehow got deleted. So if I made a guide, it will be included in that, but right now I have a screenshot of that. So let me show you that as well, because basically
Oh, are you looking for? If you click on listen in, you can join back in. Yes, and you're back. I can see your screen. I don't know if you're saying something. I cannot hear you. Roy, Soheb, anybody else in the audience, can you hear Akasha? Or is it just me? Oh, just me. Okay. Oh, Soheb says I can't hear him either. Maybe we have to click try again to start the camera. Soheb, are you saying, sorry, Okasha, are you saying anything? Nope, I cannot hear. Let me see if I can leave quietly and I still cannot hear anything. Is Okasha saying anything? Hello, hello. We have Soheb, we have Shane, we have Rajneesh, we have Roy. I'm so excited. I'm so glad that you are all here. We have Okasha joining in from Pakistan. He's doing a demo of a really cool app. It's a 3-tier web app that he has created, that he's containerized. He was giving us a demo. Okasha, can you say something? Nope, can't hear you. Anybody else? Is Okasha visible and audible? So it's just me. I'm not able to hear Okasha. Hmm. Sorry, guys. All right. I am going to test something out. If I can get a volunteer to just test the audio for me. Sohab, can you say something?
Hello, I can't hear him.
I can hear Sohib. Okay, so now I have identified that I'm not the problem. King, can you hear me? King, can you hear Maya? Okay, so everybody can hear Maya. We cannot hear Okasha. Okasha, can you hear us? Can you hear me? Can you hear me or Sohib? All right. It's all good. All part of the technical troubleshooting that we have to face. All good, all good. I hope everyone is having a good day. We've got Rajneesh joining from India, Shane, Roy joining from US. Sohib is right here on stage with me. And we had King joining from South Korea for a bit, but I think he left. Okasha, can you unmute? Hopefully this time it's working. All right, he's left and he's coming back in right now. Hello. Can anyone hear Okasha? I can see this green light and frame, so I don't know if I'm the problem. Still hearing nothing. All right. Time to troubleshoot a little bit. How do we fix this? Sohib, can you say something?
Yes.
I can hear you. Great. Roy, Shane,
Yes.
Soheb,
Now
can
I think now
everybody
it's
hear
good.
everyone? Okay, awesome. All right, we are still live on YouTube. So whoever is watching on YouTube will still be able to hear everything. I'm going to restart the event on Discord. We have a project spotlight by Okasha. And I'll just notify everyone. Okay. Hopefully nothing, we don't lose any audio. Can you hear me, Okasha? Am I audible?
Yes, I can. Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Phew. Yes. All right, let's go. Thanks for your patience. Really appreciate it. I just like Discord only because our entire community gets a notification. So people can join and tune in. It's so much easier and accessible when it's on Discord. Really appreciate your patience. All right, over to you. Let's see
No
that
issue. No issue.
beautiful web app. I don't know if you saw it. You had some great comments about the quote, about the UI. So, yeah, go ahead
Uh,
and continue.
so I was talking about the infrastructure. From where was I cut off, or I was not cut off all the time? What was
I think
happening?
you were talking about how you have it configured to a Grafana dashboard.
Okay, okay, okay. So let me walk you through the whole project, like how I did it. Okay,
Okay.
okay. So this can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see your Word document.
Okay, so this is the whole the sections. I have divided into 12 sections. So this is the part where we have to configure the AWS infrastructure. All this is done through AWS CLI. So then I have configured the ECR, Elastic Container Registry, where I store the images. Then Kubernetes deployment on EKS. So there was a lot of configuration and YAML file that have to be configured in order to because Kubernetes is a system that wants that need to know that what will be the whole what will be the results, that how many pods it required, how many replicas and everything. So basically there is like a service where we have the users go, and the service redirects the all the traffic to the actual application. Next, monitoring and observability. It is very important because in production system we have to know how our app is performing. Basically, my app is on uh, wherever your app is, whatever your app is hosted on. You slash metrics is the URL where all the metrics will be exported. So one thing that Grafana and Prometheus do not do anything by themselves. We have to configure everything. We have to code it in the backend so that the metrics we want can be exported on the slash metrics URL. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So I assume everybody else can hear. Keep going. All good.
Okay. So, so the next thing was CI/CD. CI/CD was also a very complex procedure. It failed multiple times. I can show you here. Here you can see that I failed multiple times. There was a lot of learning in every pipeline fail. So at last it worked. First, I tried everything manually, like building the whole pipeline manually. Then I did it via GitHub, GitHub webhook, and it worked. So here you can see that it started via GitHub push by Okasha Rehman, and it worked. This is the Grafana dashboard where you can see everything. How is
Akash, can I ask you a
everything
question really quickly?
parametered?
You mentioned that
Yes,
it
yes,
failed a
yes.
couple of times before it succeeded. Do you know why it failed and why it succeeded?
Yet it was quite frustrating at first because it was failing. There was a problem in which the Docker file I wrote uh, when the in testing phase in Jenkins pipeline testing phase. At last, we have to test that on slash health URL that everything is healthy, right? Readiness probe and everything. So in my Docker file, I was using multi-stage build, so I was not installing the curl library, which is required to probe, which is required to check that if the health probe and everything is working. So it was uh, because there is a lot of log file you have to go through it, and then it's lot of files, so you have to find what's wrong with the project, why it's not working.
Mm. Yeah, one says, dependency issue. I think we're all familiar with that. All right, go on, continue.
So I think also it is very important to mention that AWS CKS is not good for hosting everyday websites like I have hosted. It's just for the purpose to show how production system works. It's all about experience so that you know how things work. And to configure this, I have to do a lot of there was like a lot of AWS roles permission. I have to track everything because in production system you cannot let go even a single thing. I have like written down every variable and every little detail I have done, like so that I know what I have done. You cannot like forget anything, any even with the little detail matter in production system. So I was saying that in in real life,
Akash, can you
if
put, can
the
you share your project UI? I think that would be a nice screen share as you continue, because right now I see the Discord.
I cannot hear you.
There might be just a bit of a lag. I can hear you. I can see Rajneesh typing.
Yes, I can. Yes, I
Yeah,
can hear you now.
it's
So what were you
interesting because
saying?
I can see you in the screen share, but the video of you itself it's frozen. That's okay. Can you share your app for everyone who's just joined so that they can see it?
So this is
Yeah.
a app that
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Continue.
basically. So I was saying that in real life, like I'm a freelancer, so whenever I talk with the client, I tell them that uh, mm, like AWS Light Sale is a great service for like if you have if you are low on budget, so you can go on use AWS Light Sale. It is very good. It is very cheap. But if you have a big team and wants uh, uh, really wants that there is no downtime and you are okay with extra charges, then ECAS is the best for you.
Mm.
I've also opened my AWS portal here so you can see that I've just worked it on for like 2-3 days, and the cost is like not very, you can say, cheap. It's expensive.
How many days have you been working on it, that it hit $8?
Uh, I've been working on and off because I have other projects also going on. So you can say like 3 days, 3 days on and off. Because
Okay.
AW, if you even if you down all the nodes, the cluster is down to 0 nodes, and there is no pod running. Even then, AWS will be charging you for the VPC, for the
Mm.
net gateway, internet gateway, everything. And if you
Mm.
have volume installed to with the port, then again the charges will increase.
Mm. Really cool. Do you have an architecture diagram?
Architecture diagram, yes.
Oh, nice.
So this is not really architecture diagram. It's just the whole flow chart I made via
Mm-hmm.
Claude. So this is
Ooh.
the whole. So this is how things go. Whenever I push through update on GitHub, Jenkins build it, and then there is a scan, security scan. Basically, even before Jenkins, there's a lot of security scan, because whenever I push, the first time I pushed my images on ECR, it scanned through Trivi. So it's pretty secure in that way. So whenever I push on GitHub, Jenkins build the image, take the update from GitHub, build the image, and deploy, push it on ECR, and from ECR it goes to EKS. And in Jenkins, there's also scanning also going on. Trivi scanning the backend and front end for vulnerabilities and so on.
Mm. I really
Basically,
like
underneath
the
everything is
flow that you had. Can you put that up again?
okay, okay, okay. So everything basically inside is like EC2. Even EKS is bunch of EC2s, and inside each EC2, EC2 is basically a instance, any server, any virtual machine. So I was saying that why it's expensive, because it has clusters. Clusters are like really expensive things. It can provision itself, so that's why the where the cost is hidden. In other services, like if you spin up a simple EC2 instance, you know what you are spinning, and it won't scale, auto scale, or it won't, there won't be any surprise charges. But EKS, in EKS, if you spin up a cluster with 3 to 10 pods, it can go up and down, so you won't know the exact cost that would be that would come in your bill.
This is
And
really cool.
AWS Light Sail is like the AWS Light Sail is like pre-built-in packages of EC2 instance with fixed RAM and fixed everything. So cost is like highly cheap, and you know everything. What will be the cost?
Really cool. Thanks so much for sharing this, Okasha. I want to open it up for questions in the audience. I'm sure there's a lot of questions. Um, I want to know a little bit about how you came up with your design choices. And you mentioned a little bit about why light sail is a good option, but you would have done that for all the different pieces. How did you get started with that?
So basically, the idea was to 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 make everything very production wise, so you can almost experience how production system works. This was the whole idea. So I basically started searching what they use in production system, because in lot of freelancing work that I do, there is nothing like that. Like Kubernetes itself is a system made by Google, so they use it internally. So I wanted to experience that. So from there, it all started.
Okay, so your intent was, I want to learn Kubernetes, so now I need to build some things that I can deploy and use Kubernetes. Is that right?
I had experience with like Minikube and everything, but EKS I wanted to like build something on that.
Okay, that makes sense. So you've worked with Minikube, and this was a way to explore Kubernetes, the EKS.
Yep.
Very cool. Um, if somebody wanted to recreate this project and learn, what are there any prerequisites that you would insist that they have?
Right. So I think networking is pretty underrated because if you understand networking of it, the creation of private subnet, public subnet, net, internet gateway, then you can understand how the whole system works. Because EKS itself, there's lot of like boilerplate code and YAML files, but if you get to the right thing and you know why I'm doing this, how this will happen, how this will happen, then I think anyone can do it if they have experience in Linux, in networking, and that's basically it. I think they have if they have done a few projects before, then they can surely do it.
Okay, so networking
But there will
is
be a
the
lot
essential.
of debugging as well, because debugging is the part of learning. I think
Well said.
like if doing if doing happened in 5 minutes, debugging is like 5 hours easily.
Okay. I like that. Soheb has a good question. How did you come up with the CI/CD pipeline for the production system?
So CI/CD pipeline is uh, pretty almost same, but it has a few different things that in production we do, right? So in normal CI/CDs, what I was doing was like uh, the whole pipeline. There's like a Jenkins file where you can write the steps of everything. So the different thing this time was I was like doing the deployment on EKS, and there was like subtle changes but not that much, I think. So if CI/CD was not was not a problem, I think configuring monitoring and observability was very tricky, because you have to configure it inside the EKS cluster, and you also have to make volume for every new pod, and you have to make a pod for Grafana, Prometheus, and then you have to attach a volume to it so that it can store all the observability and the other things. I think my most of the debugging was in observability and uh, monitoring and observability.
Very cool. I hope that answered your question, Sohib. Rajneesh says, basically, I have to learn all the tools which is required for this project. Roy asks, who d- who this design system designed for? Why did you choose these tools instead of others? Who is this system designed for? We'll start with that question.
So so basically you can we can design anything, we can build anything, and after building and experience everything, then we can finally know that what works best for what, right? So I think that's my approach. I try to do things every time a little bit differently so I can learn new things. That's my approach. But if you stick to like GitHub Actions and for CI/CD for and everything, you can surely deliver the project, and you will have lot less difficulties. But uh, if we want to keep growing and learning new things, we have to make ourselves uncomfortable, I think. That was my design philosophy.
Cool. Yeah. I think that brings up a good point about with every system design, I mean, you have to make choices, and with each choice, you might miss out on some other advantage. So, what would you say are the limitations of your proposed system design, your existing system design? What are the constraints?
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, I just wanted to know what are the constraints of your system design? System design.
So basically, my system design, I think the biggest hurdle is that it requires lots of work, and you have to sit for like 2 3 days to understand the whole system. Basically, once it is up, it's like pretty indestructible. It's pretty solid, but there is a big learning curve. I think you have to have some experience in these things so you can implement new technologies in it.
I think, let me rephrase my question. The thing is, I can hear myself, and it's the way I check my YouTube streaming audio. So a little too much information, but my question was, what are the constraints of the choices that you've made for your design? So you've used tools, you've chosen Jenkins, you've chosen Postgres, you've chosen certain, you've made some design choices, and it has
Yes.
advantages, it has disadvantages. What are the disadvantages?
So for like I've said that there's like disadvantages. Uh, I don't think there's like any disadvantage as far as like this is a small web app, right? So to check the limit of a system of a tech that like we are talking about Grafana and Prometheus. If we want to check the limits of it, we have to deploy certain different applications to know where it lacks and where it has everything, right? So I think it's not a the it's a fairly simple application. We can there. I don't think there is any disadvantage at this stage.
Okay. Given that the purpose of the project is that it's a learning project, very small scale, very personal project, there's no disadvantages. There's a question
It
that
is not
Sohaib
like
asked.
very simple. Uh, yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, go on. I don't want to interrupt.
So I was saying that it is not scaled down to personal. It is still
Mm,
a big project. That's why it's costing a lot.
yeah.
Because normal Kubernetes project costs like $200 a month. My project is also costing somewhere around that. So, uh, and I was saying that there's not a bunch of APIs calling, and there's not lot of things happening. There's not a lot of moving parts in my application. That's why I think it's fairly it's not accurate to say that the I face no disadvantages. But if I was doing some other application, I could have told you that I face this a disadvantage. I couldn't do this right. So that's my answer.
Got it. Sohaib has a question. All right. So, how, as a beginner, can I acquire the skill set for this project? What skills do I need to work on? Do I need to work on Kubernetes skills?
I think that to build something of this scale, you have to start with small projects. My learning approach from start was when I started learning Kubernetes and everything. You have to start small. You have to do things by your own, and for some extent, don't use other sources like ChatGPT and Claude. So push yourself. How I can do this? Why this is working? And build small projects. Don't go to big projects. Also, don't waste so much time on tutorials. Just know the basics, write down somewhere, and start working on the project. Write YAML files, write Docker file, and everything. I think that's the best approach that worked for me.
If you were to help someone recreate this project, what are the steps you would go through?
So there's like a lot of steps. First, you have to create the system, the whole system. You have to install everything, like install EKS, AWS CLI. No, EKS is not a service. AWS CLI, Helm, and lot of other things. First, you have to um, pull the app, and then you have to run it to test if it works. Then install everything that you require, that is required. I have listed all the things. So if I share the manual, it will have everything. So
Okay, cool.
then you install the all the tools required. Then you Dockerize it. Then use Docker Swarm to run it. Docker Compose, so that you know everything works. Then there's like bunch of portability tests that you have to do, that you should know that when I run this project in EKS, all the variable will be in the form of env, so you have to think like that. uh, because in EKS, whenever the pod is running, you are like inserting all the variable through a YAML file, right? So you have to think like that, how I will do that. So there's like almost lot of restructuring in the backend files also. After portability test, you once the images are tested and it works, then you have to push the images to ECR. Then from ECR, you deploy it on Kubernetes. But it has lots of steps, so I'm like giving you an overview, right? Because after the when once you have deployed the on EKS, then you have to configure the monitoring and observability pods in the EKS cluster. Then create another EC2 instance in which you have to set up the whole Jenkins, because Jenkins is a very heavy procedure. You have with the CI/CD. It has bunch of tools that that are required to build a whole CI/CD. After that, you have to we have to create a webhook in the GitHub, and then connect it through to Jenkins, and test it a lot of times, and it will work if you have done everything right up to that stage.
That's cool. I think you've given a very advanced answer. Sometimes I think a lot of learners are just, looking at the big picture and seeing this beautiful three-tier web app that you have, and they're like, "Whoa, I want to do that." And sometimes the struggles of starting with CLI is that that requires a certain level of understanding. Um, yeah, I think, and as Roy said, the design that you have isn't simple. It is quite intense. There is um, a lot of pieces in that. So it definitely, I think
Yes, I
your
think you are
suggestion
right.
of
I think
starting with small projects is a good advice. Roy's
yes, I
question
think you are
says,
right.
why did you choose this instead of something simpler, like a monolith or a modular app?
Because that's too simple. I want to build something complex, and it's all about experience. I want to experience how production system works.
Cool. Really, really awesome to see you present this. I think this is inspiring for all of us to understand that, you are just, you say, okay, I want to learn something, I'm going to build something to help me learn it. And I think that is really cool. It's awesome that you are willing to share that with us. Of course, this is a space where we're all learning. We're all learners here, and we all have different levels of technical background. Some of us don't even have a tech background, are trying to get into tech. So we're learning through next work projects and through the community. And then there are professionals who are already in the tech space, cloud engineers, and they're just here to learn more and upskill. So it is really nice to have that kind of an audience. So thank you all for joining. Um, if you would like to put in your LinkedIn resume or LinkedIn profile, Okasha, I think it'll be a great way for folks to reach out to you. They can reach out to you on Discord as well. And I think I should also give some context that Okasha said that this is something that he would love Nextwork to have as a project. So if you really like that idea and it's something that you want to learn, let him know, let me know, and let's see how we can make this happen. Yeah? Anything else you'd like to add, Okasha?
Yes, I want to say that next work is very like close because I think it delivers the project. Like I have started using it some months back, and I liked the approach in which every the whole guided procedure, right, with screenshots and everything. I suggested to bunch of my friends, like saying that this will work, this is really good, because there is nothing like that currently in the market, right, that shows how to do a project from scratch, everything. So I think I the idea I love that idea so much. I want to contribute to that in a sense that when you build a project, it you at the end you have something tangible, right, to show off to the world and everything. And also, um, every project is experience. You learn lots of things that you won't learn through a tutorial. Also, if you tie it up to a real world problem, like I have done, like created a simple web app, it which has front end, back end, and database. So now I know which permissions I'm giving to what pod and how the whole communication is working, right? So I think the understanding went from 10x to 100x just because I uh, linked an real world application to it. So I think that's my strategy. Building projects with real world problems.
Yep. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing. It's an open invitation for all of you. If you have a project that you want to demonstrate and showcase, let me know. Let's do this. Let's make this a regular thing. And thank you so much, Okasha, for your initiative. You're the one who said, "Hey, I want to do this. I want Nextwork to build more projects. I have ideas. I want to contribute," and here you are making a big difference. I really want to highlight the comment that Roy has. Your drive to learn system design sets you up for the future. It puts you in a position where business leaders can come to you and trust you to turn ideas into working systems and bridge the gap. Powerful words. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Kasha. And I think this is a start of a new journey between you, the community, and Nextwork. And I'm really, really excited. Thank you all for joining.
Yes, me too.
Thanks. All right. Take care, everyone. I know you're all joining from different parts of the world, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. And a big, big, big thanks to Akasha for making time to give us this demonstration. Thank you. See you all. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.